Let's play a Unique clip. Big up Unique. I didn't play this one yesterday. This is a clip that says Bryan Callen, not Ryan Adam, not Adam Ray. Bryan Callen admits he hates living in Austin, Texas. Let's play this. Big up Unique. Big up Blood Clot Unique.
Because when you and I met, not when we ran each other in the bathroom doing a podcast with Theo, but I was at the pumpkin patch in Calabasas. And you came up to me like, oh, yeah, you're like, I know Brian, Theo. I'm like, cool, man. And we were talking about Magic Mind. You're like, you drink coffee? I'm like, I drink coffee. I take too much Adderall. And you're like, yeah, man, this can help you out.
Kratom is people take Kratom and have no feel-free shots. They didn't.
I was doing all that.
Dude, Kratom is, and again.
Is it pronounced Kratom or Kratom? And who the fuck is this guy? Why are they shilling Magic Mind and Magic Hippo and all this shit? Who the fuck is this guy? Is he a founder or something? Is he an investor? Who the fuck is this guy? This sounds like a shill.
This is like a 10-second Google, just like, what are the downsides of Kratom? It's an opiate-like substance that incredible withdrawal. And the sad thing is people will sell Kratom products to addicts, telling them that, like, hey, this will get you off of that. Yep. And it's just getting them off one thing, getting them on doing another thing.
It's really, but just so you're aware, never been healthier. I drink maybe half a cup of coffee every morning, maybe a cup, but usually half a cup.
Never alcohol.
No Adderall, no alcohol.
Dude,
more energy than ever. All the baseball dads, you were saying how employees back in the day were like, man, how you so much energy? The number one question I get at the baseball field is like, dude, you have so much energy all the time. I'm like, yeah, man.
Is it Magic Mind Mac?
Why does he never admit the Ozempic part of things? Why does he never admit the Ozempic? Why can't I can't pronounce it? Whoops. Why doesn't he ever admit Ozempic helped him get this way? Because it clearly has. He was a functioning alcoholic. He was drinking Jameson's by the bottle. I think if you get to a point where you're on a podcast and you are taking Jameson to the face without a glass and no ice and no mix, you're just drinking Jameson from the bottle, you're taking it straight to your grill, that's when you know you got a problem with alcohol. And then suddenly, the same time when Ozempic was invented and was widespread, it just happened to coincide with Brendan losing a bunch of weight and suddenly cutting off all of his vices, ending all of his vices. And the fact that he doesn't acknowledge it and he tries to make it seem like it was his own Herculean effort or it was one of the benefits of Magic Mind. I guess this guy maybe is an investor in Magic Mind. Come on, bro. Come on, be for real. Like, it's kind of insulting how he doesn't even admit that he's on Ozempic, that he was on it at one point. Because that's where all the weight came off. He was looking super, super skinny out of the blue. And then obviously one of the benefits of taking Ozempic is that it helps with your vices and shit. People have kind of, gave that evidence out there or gave those reports. And I'm assuming it's probably helped the stuff that he's speaking about. But no, let's just make it seem as if it's Magic Mind doing all the good work, doing all the heavy lifting. All right, mate.
Drink Max or
Magic Mind Max every morning.
It's for your side.
Builds dependency.
Because it's wild because he admits taking all the other popular stuff. I think he doesn't admit it because I think he thinks if he admits he takes Ozempic, it's almost like a defeat. He's not a badass anymore. He kind of wants to make it seem like he went out on 4-mile runs at 4 a.m. He's the one that cut drinking alcohol cold turkey. He wants to seem like a badass, So I guess admitting that he got the help from a jab is not a badass thing in his head. I don't necessarily think that makes sense. I think admitting it is still, a good thing. I don't think it's anything bad. The fact that he took that decision anyway in the first place to get the jab, knowing what it would end, and it's helped his life beneficial. I don't think that's a bad thing. You should probably be singing Ozempic praises from the rooftops. But it's an interesting thing that he clearly keeps missing out. The most I've heard him mention when it comes to Ozempic is peptides. He's maybe mentioned peptides or GLL-1s and shit, but he's never actually said I took it, because him and Slojo have been on Ozempic. It's pretty obvious that him and Slojo had used Ozempic over the last few months because they've all gone really thin, especially Slojo. She's not even working out as much as she was used to, right? That whole working out phase kind of ended, and she lost a bunch of weight, and so did him. So did he. Sorry.
Shots, coffee throughout the day, just bad stuff, man.
You are looking really good.
Never been better.
And leaner. Maybe that's the move to Austin too. I would love to. I'm sure everybody asks you this, but I haven't heard in the episodes that I've heard. On a scale of 1 to 10, how has the move been to Austin? Now on the other side, and why that number?
I'll quote Rogan. Like he told me, he said,
"Fucking hell, he always interrupts, even when he's not interrupting." He didn't even interrupt Bryan there, but he interrupted in a way. Fucking hell, mate. If you want to speak all the time, just have your own podcast, like I do. Right? If you want to hear the sound, if you just love hearing the sound of your own voice, just get your own show. Don't have co-host. He fucking jumped in there. I'll go first. Like, yeah, we know you'll go first.
And when I was like scared to move, I was talking to him. He's like, dude, this is how it's going to go. And 3 months you're going to call me and say, man, I can't believe I didn't do this sooner. And I called him probably 2 months after and told him that.
Gay. Like he probably loves Rogan more than his dad. He probably didn't call his dad though. He called Rogan. So fucking the way they treat Rogan, man. The way it's actually kind of impressive that Rogan isn't more of a douchebag, isn't more of a bully, isn't more of a whatever egomaniacal person. Because the amount of people around Rogan that willingly go out their way to suck him off. Like I can only imagine the amount of texts he must get from people. Hey, big guy, just checking in. Hope you're good. Watching jiu-jitsu fights on TV, just thought about you. Anyway, can I come on the show? You know? Like he must get the most disgusting, beggy emails and DMs ever, you know? So it's actually impressive that Rogan is the way he is now, even though, you know, he's got his faults. The fact that he's been able to keep a lid on it for the most part, given how many grown-up men with mortgages and kids and families go out of their way to really let it be known that they look up to him. You're my mentor. You're my big bro. You're my daddy. It's like, ugh.
Yeah. Because how long did you think about it, dance in your head to whether you should do it or not?
The fires really affected us, and when they dropped us, and then crime was picking up. My kid's school's getting weird. Probably, I mean, we thought about it during the pandemic, but it just wasn't the time.
You were the one who brought it up.
Yeah.
But
How did you think about it for 2 years?
I was on and off.
No, I just kind of was like, he said it, and I was like, you know, it's such a pain in the ass, first of all, traveling from LA all over the country. It's like the worst. LAX sucks. The fires pissed me off.
My biggest thing is, what else are we going to do?
Yeah.
You want to just keep doing the same thing here in LA to what, man?
We needed a change.
Yeah.
And the mothership's here.
The show hasn't improved though, innit? It's like they've moved just to save money, really, you know? Brendan's really moved to save money. He probably, you know, he was able to sell his house in LA and buy another one, like mortgage, you know, right flat out basically without any mortgage or anything. And maybe has a lot more disposable income over there. But it really hasn't improved the show. If you think about it. It's not really improved Brendan's career. I don't think. Bryan obviously is performing at the comedy mothership more, which is great for him. But it hasn't improved his stand-up because that fucking special he did at the Rogan's Club is terrible and it's getting horrible reviews. I don't know. I think Bryan's an entertainment guy though. He's a Hollywood guy. He's just never going to get back into Hollywood, unfortunately, because of those rape allegations. It's never happening. It's over. But I think Bryan probably should still be in LA if you think about it, you know? For writing TV pilots and auditioning and being amongst those people, like that's where he should really be, in LA. But he can't because there's nothing there for him because those people are, you know, not gonna fuck with him anymore because of that Los Angeles Times article. But it hasn't really helped the show. The show hasn't improved one bit moving to fucking Austin, Texas, if you think about it. Not with the guests, not with the entertainment factor, not with anything. It's actually a worse show now, if that is possible.
But it's been, I don't care. I mean, for me, it's about my kids. I don't really give a fuck about geography, to be completely honest with you. Like, I'm too old to care about how I feel about things. I really am. I don't give a fuck about how I feel. I care about my kids. I care about my 7 dependents. If they're good, I'm good.
7 dependents? Who's your 7 dependents? I guess ex-wife, current wife, 2 kids with the first wife. That's 4. That's what? 4, right? 2 kids with a new wife. That's 6. And then maybe 7 is the dog. Fucking hell. No wonder he still does TFATK. 7 mouths to feed. And I think 2 of his kids from the first marriage are like college age, isn't it? So he's having to pay for college as well. Fucking hell. Callen's never going to stop touring, isn't it? Callen's never going to stop touring. Plus he has to pay the first wife alimony. 20k a month or something? He's never going to stop being on tour. He's never going to stop podcasting. There's never going to be a time where Callen's going to stop doing those videos that he does in his fucking white Tesla. He's going to be sat in his Tesla ranting and raving about something. He's never going to stop that shit. He can't.
So for me, it took, I'll be honest, it took like a month or two, probably a little depression. Like, I kind of fucked up. But my kids, who I was most worried about, in one day, their lives got better. That literally, in the neighborhood we moved in, they have friends. They're on bikes. They're riding around the neighborhood. They had instant friends, like best friends. They just stayed the night there the other night, which I don't usually allow sleepovers. But the families are so good. They had an instant crew, like the Sandlot crew, the day we moved in.
So cool.
Dude,
and I'm like, whoa.
Isn't that crazy? LA lacks it. Our neighborhood in Venice, we just moved from to Malibu. Dude, we saw our 4th dead body in 5 years. Not what you think of when you start telling people you live in Cali.
4 dead bodies.
No, but I'm also not the guy that moves to Austin and shits on LA. There's a lot of great things about LA that, and this is something else. I think the girl from Poppy Alice told us when we first moved here. We became friends with her instantly. She goes, "Listen, LA's great. Austin's not LA. So if you're constantly comparing Austin to LA, you're never going to appreciate Austin. It's not LA.
Yeah,
LA has great restaurants. They have all this stuff. It's not LA. It's different. No place can compete with LA.
I don't understand why he's saying this like this is some sort of revelation. Why would you think it was though? So he actually thought he's only saying this because he thought it was going to be LA. He thought because his friends who used to live in LA are now living in Austin, that they were somehow going to carry or take with them the LA spirit. I don't know why he's saying it like it's a big block, like it's like this big fucking revelation. Oh my God. Like, bro, like, of course they're different places, isn't it? Why would you think it would be the same? Like, again, it shows also no research, by the way. No fucking research ahead of time. You would probably know after one visit there over the weekend that it's not LA. You'd probably know, but you know, what do I know?
Weather, the
creativity,
ocean,
Dude, I knew when I was right in Venice during COVID. When the homeless situation was, it was a little.
You're trying to sell your house.
It was a literal war zone trying to sell my house. A war zone.
Dude,
and in front of my house.
Oh, is this the story you're telling?
Yeah, in front of my house, this guy sets up a whole thing. But I didn't tell you this part. This guy sets up a whole encampment.
That's very subtle from Bryan there. I didn't tell you this part so that he wouldn't interrupt. That was very subtle there. You notice that? He said, "Oh, you telling me that story?" And then Bryan's like, "Yeah, I didn't tell you this part." Right? So he didn't. So he'd be forced to listen. Very subtle little thing that he did there. I didn't tell you this part. It's the same story, but there's more to it. So shut the fuck up. You know?
Long story short, I go to war with him. I almost get in a fight with him. He's in his underwear. He's a big guy. I ended up taking everything down, and I found 2 machetes in there. That could have been chopped to Smith for real. That was really bad. But I was literally so crazy at that point. I was like,
it was a weird time.
Fuck you, everybody. I had they had this huge riot outside my door. Literally, people were. I was sitting there with my gun, and I had a newborn. Shit, it was bad. Fuck all of them. But
Jesus Christ, you were sat there with a gun and your newborn. That can't. I don't think he's not talking about it, but I think he's talking about the cancellation. That cancellation broke him. It's no surprise because he has definitely lost the spark. For, Chris D'Elia and Bryan Callen, yes, they still have their careers. I think a lot of people are out there thinking, oh, Chris D'Elia doesn't deserve this. Chris D'Elia doesn't deserve his. But I think they're both living in like a mental prison because they're not the same. Callen's not the same person anymore. He's definitely lost a bit of that spark. He's definitely lost a bit of that joie de vivre, that je ne sais quoi, that little bit of whatever he had, he's definitely gone. But fucking hell, stroking your gun with your fucking kid in your life is fucking insane.
I remember there was this fucking giant encampment, and I come out and there was a little like park right outside my house on Venice, like a little makeshift park, like, and there were these two dudes and they looked exactly alike. And I go, "Are you brothers?" And they were these two blonde.
So the same area that he lives, where there's a homeless encampment near, there's people squatting, he's getting into fights with homeless people with machetes. He also just walks out and just starts talking to people, just starts talking to random homeless people in the street. I thought you're scared of them. I thought they're terrorizing your neighborhood. I thought you hate, like, this story doesn't add up. 1 minute he wants to fight these people, he wants them to all die. He's got his gun on his lap as he's fucking cuddling or carrying, hugging his kid. And the next minute he's going out to them and asking them questions about if they're brothers or not. Seems odd to me.
Homeless hillbillies. But they looked strong. They looked like they were jailhouse strong. And I clocked that right away.
Of course you did.
Big fucking kind of, They weren't big, they were shorter but thick with big hands. They did. And one guy was fixing something. He was fixing some kind of a fucking engine, right? And I looked at them and there was a brutality to them. I was like, these aren't your homeless guys. These are some bad dudes and they're right outside my door. So I go, I got to figure out a way I got to let them know that I know. So I say something like, I come out and I want to mark their card. And I go, I want to show them that I'm not a pushover.
This story sounds like so much cap in it. Like, what? What the fuck is this story? So 1 minute you're scared of these people, 1 minute they're intimidating, now you want to what? You want to like mark them out. You want to G-check these guys who are right outside your door with your kids inside your house. You want to step out like what? This just sounds like bullshit.
So I go, I'm gonna fucking take that thing down. This motherfucker's right here and I'm doing this. And the guy looks at me and he goes, you give me $100, we'll burn that shit down right now. Make it look like an accident. And I went, oh, this is Venice. This is Venice. And we got an offer on the house the next day.
Yeah.
And I was like, and guess what I did? Because I couldn't have them come into the house to see all that. I set up sprinklers. I
remember, weren't they bathing in the sprinklers?
I put a bunch of because I put sprinklers and I had the gardener paid them extra. I go,
because I remember you did it one. I remember you tried it one time and then we looked out there and they were like bathing. Yeah.
But ultimately,
and the next day, 10 more.
Ultimately, every time they tried to come and do their drugs or set up shop, which they were doing, I would put those sprinklers on. So I had the sprinklers set, and you couldn't do this because it wasn't even my. I had the sprinklers set for like fucking.
The water bill through the roof.
Didn't matter.
But it was worth it.
I had that fucking. So the minute they said, like,
dude, I have the best memories about Venice, though. I know it. Size about Venice.
Isn't part of the reason you're living in a place like Venice for the weirdness anyway? Isn't part of the reason why you're living there because it's a little bit it's a little bit dangerous, a little bit risky? These guys just hate being around regular people, innit? They hate being reminded that there are people out there that are doing worse than them. They just don't like it. Don't get me wrong. No one wants to live around homeless people and scary people and drug dealers. I get it. But I do get this feeling that Brendan and Bryan prefer living behind a gate, you know? They wanna live behind a gate. They wanna live surrounded by high walls. They want to live somewhere where there's a fucking security guard at the gate. You have to get buzzed through, you know? That's what they want. They don't want just regular people walking down the street. They want only their neighbors that walk down the street. The only people that walk down the street are people that live there. No one else walks down this street. This street is not inhabited by anybody else apart from people that live there. But yeah, I don't know. I call so much cap on that story. I think that entire story was made up. I think that entire story Bryan told was completely made up. I don't believe a single word of that story. Just want to put that out there, by the way. I don't believe a single word. Apart from maybe the sprinkler thing that Brendan kind of co-signed, everything else in that story is made up. That's my conclusion. Everything in that story is made up. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong.